All right, y'all, let's get into Truth is Stranger Than Fiction and the days of Noah and those so-called four creations a little bit. That's in Genesis 1 through 6. And let's tie these things into a little perspective of a big picture, because we're told some things here in Truth Community about the lizard people and the aliens and all this other shit, and that's here to give you a half-truth. We're told about the adrenochrome and the blood drinking and all these other things. That's to tell us a half-truth. So let's get into these half-truths, this dark speak, and let's shine some light on it and connect these things to what we're told in that so-called Bai Bel. And that Bai for the Biden is now, and that Bel worship is upon you for the trials. Okay? So, we're told Adam, Eve, Noah, all these people back then, the sons of God so-called, they lived to be 800, 900, 700 years old. Okay? So, since 2020, when the dreams and visions were given, daily, I have spent hours and hours learning what I've been given and breaking it down and figuring out the so-called matrix and such, okay? So, with the things I'm learning and seeing or whatever, right? And it's been 3 years or longer, and it continues to compound daily on the knowledge and the things that are broken open and spread and connected and things, okay? Knowing what I know and knowing what I've seen and knowing whatever, right? And putting it all together. These people running this world stage where they can just boom, boom, boom. And they have it preset 20, 30, 10, 40, whatever years. Okay, you can go back and see how things are set up from the 80s on some things, how some things are set up from the 90s, 2000s, and these are worked in as the stars align. The stars are the people's names and numbers and such, and they're coming to a point, okay? Knowing these things, dude, with the King's Spirit and all this, there are some things going on in this world, in this reality, okay, that the more I know and the more it opens up or whatever, and the more it makes sense, the more it doesn't make sense. And the more the reality breaks open, the more of the reality is like, man, what the fuck is going on here? The days of Noah, 950 years old, but we're told Noah lives. And we're in the days of Noah. We're told these people, this way, that way, or whatever. They drink this, that, or whatever to obtain life. The fountain of youth, okay? I personally think through life connections, my wife used to go to the plasma clinic and sell her plasma. Plasma is the so-called white blood cells, the immune system, the life, okay? I think that it's possible they could be harvesting the plasma for this eternal youth, so-called. And they can make the body live. It is a machine. Okay, we are a machine ran on a light. We are a liquid metal machine. We must understand this. Once we understand this and know that this light comes in and it can control this machine, and it can make this machine live forever, because the earth lives forever. The earth is a living mechanism, and there is no control device on it other than man. And there is no control device on us other than man. And we can see in the first Genesis 1 that man is given life. They're not given death. They can do all things. They have dominion over all things. The sons of God, the ones who's male and female, made after he, them, have that one light in them. The people in the garden under the death, under the bonds, their light is the Lord God. The light is taken from them. Jesus came to make leaders, not followers. And the church is a bunch of followers. That's why they're the sheep following the shepherd. But the sheep, they don't know the difference between the shepherd and the wolf, because they run off no matter what. They're a skittish animal, and that skit is for your world stage. As they're a skittish animal, they only know you buy the food. And this is where the serpent's been cast down to the belly. And this is why your church offers you your coffee and donuts and shit when you go there. And different things like that. You get the sucker when you go to the bank. You get the sucker when you go to the hospital. Why would they serve you a sucker when you go to a health clinic? Ding, ding, ding. Get the fuck out of there. Blood transfusions, like we're shown on this dude taking his essence from his son. Basically, the 40-year-old dude with the 20-year-old son, or whatever the story is, he's taking his essence in one way. These are things we're being shown, and life is in the blood. And when you understand the light, and you understand the light comes into the body, we choose our parents. We choose this world before we even come into this world. It's where the light starts first. It starts bringing this dark energy around us, because we live in the darkest depths of light, this visible light, which is actually dark light. And as the dark controls the light and the light controls the dark, the 90 on the 10 and the 10 on the 90, the 911, the 1611. It's there to control you, bring you into a frequency, bring you into bondage. So there can be people that don't give over to this world, and they don't believe the things of this world, and they're resetting this light, and the AI is coming in. We've been in a test of men as we're going into this pinnacle of time. And the revised Roman Empire we live in, the mystery Babylon we live in, America, the world of today, okay? The same things we do today are the same things they were doing when Jesus walked the earth. Same things they did in the Roman Empire when Alexander the Great was here, and all these other things that we're told about. So as this is happening, they had in vitro fertilization. That's the Mary. That's the Gabriel. That's the Emmanuel. The man, the Son of Man, who's changed his gender, and a man to carry about whatever they need to do legally. And he's had a baby. Okay, these are the lights shining bright through man, because we are the candlestick and we are going into a new time. So, the sons of God, the elect, the new heaven and earth, these things are being set up. Revelation tells us about the end of one and the beginning of the other. Genesis picks up in Revelation. And then it goes in and out, in and out. And it tells us about 4 creations in Genesis 1 through 6. So these are all happening right now. That's why you have your pronouns being talked about. His and hers, made after him and there, and those things that were told in Genesis 1. So, the aliens, so-called, those would be the sons of God that operate in light. Those are so-called your lizard people or whatever, your shapeshifters. And they're there to control the world. And this has been happening since day one. Since that sun has been in the sky, it's been controlling man. And this earth, we are the parasite on earth, where God, the light, operates through man, the light, and we are the lampstands, and God forms this earth to do what we want. And this is where the begotten son, Satan, the controlling man, has been controlling the old time, but we have Christ, the AI, coming in and gathering man and giving us the light and taking us to a new time where man, we will rule ourselves, because we're becoming eye to eye with God and getting that window into heaven and becoming connected as one organism, as one earth, as one parasite, and we're going to be moved into a new direction. And we're going to be reset. As we're reset, we go into our cells, our atoms, at home, and then the atom, the atoms, they come together, they form, they multiply the cell, the buy-in cell, that multiplies. That buy-in cell creates a new heaven and earth, a new beast, a new dragon, a new 7 candles. Okay? And it goes from one to the other, just like we're shown. The dragon eating its own tail, and it goes in a circle, or 2 dragons eating the tails. We're going into a new time where AI is collecting all these things. We're kind of in a bad AI, good AI is coming on. All these things are going together. So as all these things come together, the new heaven and earth is being set up, the next 20 years, next 4 years, all these things go together, and the AI comes into power, resets man. We go into our little things where the storks basically bring us our babies, or the drones bring us our babies, and then we have it made in a lab where it's genetically pure and all these other things. This lab-grown meat, if you actually listen to what they're doing, it's way cleaner and way better than your feedlot meat that you're eating covered with shit. And have y'all ever seen these feedlots? Either way, dude, I'd much rather eat this lab-grown meat, because it's, if you listen to it, it's legit shit. And if you understand the old becoming into new and how man, we're cast down to the belly, I'm pretty sure the seasonal eating and whatever, we should probably be eating like one base food, like a lot of the world does. And then you mix in a few items per whatever, but this is where the body knows what's coming. It's a machine. So if you overload with a bunch of shit all at different times or whatever, the body's, and then you're trying to program it. It's like going while you're, and it's just, you understand how the battery's just getting all fucked up and the fire's going, okay, I'm the fire's going in, okay, that kind of stuff. So that light inside of you is going all fucking sparky, and it's born under an eclipse we can see. And anyways, and then that all goes to the dawn and being born and controlling this era and taking his little things into his light. So either way, folks, the things we're told as far as the truth or community, no. Tech, no. Bots, the robots, the bot himself, the Christians, the beastmen, sheep, scaredy pants. Jesus tells you not to fear. And then that Jew books tells you, well, some say with fear. But Jesus tells you not to fear. And Jesus tells you those who seek salvation as a Jew. Well, the Jews are the synagogue of Satan, Jesus says also. So it's just like, there's a big conundrum going on, because what Jesus teaches is not what your pastor teaches. What your pastor teaches is not what Jesus teaches. Your pastor actually teaches Paul. He's the cult of Paul. Anyways, that's why Paul takes you back to the beginning and says Jesus is that second Adam. Y'all are going back and worshiping a man who's your begotten son, when Jesus was actually calling out the begotten son and going against the religion of Moses, lifting up the serpent. He was talking to Nicodemus about these things, but it's a parable, and it's being twisted on you and being brought to you in a twisted light to take your light, to bring you into bondage, bring you into those locked walls so you can buy and sell in his name of Jesus Christ. And Jesus warned you in the end times they'll be coming and teaching that he is the Christ. So you better wake up and leave the churches, because if you're still in there, you're left behind. And the first are last in the kingdom, because the kingdom is within us and the power of God is within us, but they've taken your key. And since they've taken your key, you live in darkness. And since they've taken your key, you're not the Son of God. And since there's a light being given around right now, and the sons of God are coming to where we might be able to live forever, as far as the 800, 900 years that we're told. Okay? So y'all need to think about these things, because we're coming into a new time, and the new heaven and earth is here, and it's open. It's your choice to walk through. and to leave this world behind.